This year is turning out to be the worst startings for the Indian investors. As if you would be tracking markets, you would have seen that the markets have been falling like anything. What are the reasons for that? Let's talk about that. The first thing we have already discussed in the previous videos is that the India and US have still not been able to reach to a proper trade terms, and the negotiations still not happened between them. So the Indian investors are very uncertain about what is going to happen. The other thing is that the US Supreme Court is yet to announce their final verdict on the 50% tariff that have been imposed by the US on India, and people are really looking forward to it. The third thing is that FIs have been continuously selling in the Indian markets. If you would have seen our previous videos, we have spoken about what are the returns that have been given to the FIs over the previous years. So it's wise that they are basically selling in the Indian markets, though the Indian markets growth is much more as compared to all the economies out there. Now, let's talk about the fresh reasons. What are the latest reasons because of which the retailers and the Indian investors are panicking? The first one is that Trump is planning to acquire Greenland by any means, and there is a lot of issues that have been going between the US and the EU entities. Along with that, the Trump has basically planning to put tariffs on all the NATO alliances. So it's very uncertain about what is going to happen in the future. The other reasons are that the IT companies have not really produced good results. Their results are much lesser as they were expected, and thus Indian investors are planning to sell them. So what should you do right now? Let's discuss that. See, the Nifty 50 looks fairly valued, and we don't see a lot of downside to it going forward. But there's Nifty small cap and the mid cap. They still look very expensive as compared to the fundamentals. And like we already discussed, the Nifty 50 can give around 11 to 13% of return, provided the returns of those entities are really great.